As you know, Eric Cantor, Republican House member from Virginia, is about to be the House Majority Leader. He follows John Boehner around as if the two were joined at the groin. And Eric Cantor is determined to be House Majority Leader, and I don't know that he has any competition when the Republican caucus in the House decides who their leaders are going to be. Eric Cantor is very, 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 very Jewish and very, 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 very much a supporter of Israel, as most Jews in the Congress are. And some of them unqualifiedly so, which in my personal feeling, sometimes it's very difficult for me to accept that unqualified support of an apartheid state like Israel, on the one hand, while on the other hand, some of the Democratic Jewish members of Congress are very progressive, very understanding, very forward-thinking where it concerns every other issue. And I get hung up on that sometimes, and I try, unless I'm focusing on the Israeli-Palestinian issue, I try to keep that in mind, that one particular issue does not make or break a member of Congress. It shouldn't, anyway. Keeping all that in mind, Eric Cantor here has crossed the line, egregiously so. And according to Media Matters, he's now desperately trying to explain away the promise he made to Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu a week ago. Eric Cantor, according to Media Matters, got all huddled with Netanyahu just prior to Netanyahu's meeting with U.S. Secretary of State Hillary Clinton last week. Clinton was expected in that meeting to reaffirm the American commitment to Israeli-Palestinian negotiations, and she was expected to continue U.S. opposition, as facile as it may be, to Israeli settlement expansion. Under Netanyahu, the Israeli government doesn't give a damn about the fact that they are continuing to violate Geneva Conventions, to violate the rules that are set out there. If you're going to become an occupier of another country, as we are or were in Iraq, there's certain rules you have to follow in order to be a good occupier as opposed to a bad occupier. You see how crazy this planet has become. Israel is not a good occupier. And one of the things that is specifically prohibited is building permanent settlements on the land belonging to the country you're occupying. That's against the rules. The settlements, the Israeli settlement expansion, has been a serious area of contention, and it should be, on the part of the Palestinians for the past 60 years, ever since this invasion and establishment of the State of Israel occurred. Now, you can be supportive of the establishment of the State of Israel or not, but if you are supportive of the idea and the manner in which it was done, a lot of Jews, American Jews, will say, no, wait a second, this was a UN mandate that established the State of Israel. That is partially true. But if the supporters of Israel are going to focus on a UN resolution establishing the state and then ignore practically every UN resolution since concerning the treatment of the Palestinians by the settlers, by the new arrivals, by the Jews, by the Israelis, that's not logical, it's not fair, and it pisses me off to a very, very big degree. And I think it would irritate most everybody. M.J. Rosenberg, and I mention his name because he is Jewish, wrote at MediaMatters.org what I'm going to share with you when we come back from this break. But Eric Cantor crossed the line, way crossed the line, and I have yet to hear anybody in mainstream media especially certainly not on the crazy right, go nuts about this. You know, they make up this bull crap about Obama's allegiance lies somewhere else. Well, Eric Cantor's allegiance, by his own words, lies somewhere else. We'll be right back. All right, M.G. Rosenberg, writing at MediaMatters.org, he's talking about soon-to-be House Majority Leader Eric Cantor. Cantor got together with Benjamin Netanyahu when the Israeli Prime Minister was in the United States last week, right before a meeting with Hillary Clinton. And Clinton was expected to reaffirm what has become the U.S. position. It was the U.S. position during Bush 2, Clinton, Bush 1, and I think even Reagan, that the expansion of the settlements have to stop. There has to be negotiations with the Palestinians. Now, of course, neither of those situations have been honored to a degree that would result in ending this terrible situation in Palestine and Israel. So Eric Cantor's office, before I get to that, Clinton was supposed to reaffirm those commitments. Cantor got together with Netanyahu to let Netanyahu know that he, Cantor, had his back. Now, how did he do that? Well, Cantor's office put out a statement bragging about his pledge to Netanyahu. This is before the caca hit the fan. The statement from Cantor read as follows. This from Cantor's office. Quote, Eric stressed that the new Republican majority will serve as a check on the administration. And what has been, up until this point, one-party rule in Washington. The readout continued. He, Cantor, made clear that the Republican majority understands the special relationship between Israel and the United States, and that the security of each nation is reliant upon the other. Now, the statement was more than that, but that's all you need to know. And as Rosenberg writes, for now, forget Cantor's ridiculous assertion that the security of Israel and the United States are reliant upon the other. No, the United States provides Israel with the security assistance to survive. It's not the other way around. Remember what Cantor said. But lay that aside. It is Cantor's statement of loyalty to Netanyahu that is the shocker. Specifically, it is his promise, Cantor's promise, that he would ensure the Republicans in the U.S. House of Representatives, quote, will serve as a check, end quote, on U.S. Middle East policy. Nothing. Jesus, God. Almost immediately, Rosenberg writes, the Jewish Telegraphic Agency's bureau chief in Washington, Ron Campius, declared that Cantor's statement was extraordinary. Ron Campius wrote that he could not, quote, remember an opposition leader telling a foreign leader in a personal meeting that he would side as a policy with that foreign leader against the President of the United States. Do you understand this, truth seeker? I know you right-wingers don't. I'm not talking to you. Go back to whatever the hell you were doing, picking boogers and eating them. I'm talking to normal people. Do you understand what this is? Ron Campius, bureau chief of the Jewish Telegraphic Agency, was clearly shocked, but he was understating the enormity of Cantor's offense. Cantor's pledge of allegiance to a foreign leader would be remarkable and deeply offensive, even if the foreign country in question were Canada or the United Kingdom, our two closest allies with whom we have few policy differences. The United States has major policy differences with Israel and has had them for decades, most notably over settlements, the occupied West Bank, Gaza, East Jerusalem, on and on. Israel is also the largest recipient of U.S. foreign aid in the world, which means that the President of the United States has every right to express those differences firmly and clearly. On the other hand, no American official like Cantor by any stretch of the imagination, has the right to tell the government of Israel or any foreign government that he stands with the foreign leader against his own president. It's one thing to oppose particular U.S. policies. It's quite another to tell a foreign leader, I'm with you, not my president. Let me pause and inject this. Son of a bitch! Now, have you seen this reported anywhere on the news that the soon-to-be House Majority Leader Eric Cantor has committed, by any definition, an act of treason against the United States? Should he be taken out and shot? No, he shouldn't. Should he be censured? He should have his ass kicked out of the U.S. House. Just gone. The prima facie evidence are his own words. And what will happen to Eric Cantor? Nothing. Nothing. Now, there's more on this story, but I want you to think about this during the break. The soon-to-be House Majority Leader made a pledge of allegiance to a foreign leader against his own president. Think about that.